I'm reaching a point where I'm feeling like I'm ready to just pull back from the internet. Period, man. I want to get to a stage of life where I'm back to how life used to be. I'm missing the old days where TV cut off and where you didn't have a unlimited amount of content to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's a distraction. So like I'm gonna start doing that for myself, where I'm giving myself boundary hours and stuff like that. Maybe my hours will be what TV used to be. You know what I'm saying? You could watch a little bit of cartoons and stuff before the school bus. Then at 7 o'clock it was news. You know what I'm saying? And nothing to watch throughout the day unless you was into soap operas and game shows.
Oh yeah,
TV
man. Like
for
you
a
say,
kid
if
was
it
3 to 5, and then after that you ain't had nothing to
summertime,
watch again.
if it was summertime, or you stay
Yeah.
home sick, you knew cartoons or Gumby or Sesame Street or whatever you was into, Barney was going off, and wasn't no child programming. It was all
Yeah.
stories and Price is Right,
Price is Right. That was the show, man. Like I
or some
remember
General Hospital.
General Hospital. What's the other one?
Uh,
Guiding Light, As the
Guiding Light,
World
yeah,
Turns.
all of
All them
those,
joints.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
I
it
remember
was
just
one that
being
was
a
on the
little
top of tip of
kid.
my tongue. Yeah.
I remember like PBS used to be pretty much all I could watch as a kid, and that would go off at a certain point. So you would get your Reading Rainbow, you would get your Sesame Street, you would get what was the other joint? The one around the one that where in the world is Carmen San Diego. That was my joint. I used to really look forward to that one.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then it would just go off. You know what I mean? I I'm yearning for to add some silence to my world so I can resume
True,
focusing. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
it's just too much content and it's too easy to get them dopamine highs from it. And sometimes I even find myself looking for something to wind down to at nighttime. And I'll be laying in bed and I'm looking for something. You just keep thumbing up and nothing hit the spot for you. You can't find nothing to entertain you so you can go to
Just
sleep
keep
feeling
thumbing
fulfilled
up.
and entertained.
Yeah,
And I don't want to have that type of dependency on this stuff no more, man.
yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna start shutting it off for myself a little bit, man.
You know what? And that's the same thing. Like, and that's why I stopped you, because I was having a similar thought. Matter of fact, just this morning, and as a, and of recent days too, but a lot this morning too, to where I'm thinking like, hey man, when I wake up, like a lot of times I'm pretty sure not just you or myself, but some people, first thing they do when they wake up, they pick up their phone and they start doing something, whether it's checking text messages, checking the stock
Yeah.
market, checking social media, checking to see what their
Right.
notifications are, who DM me, who text me, who called me while I was asleep, all of that.
Yeah.
And I want to start putting myself on a time restraint. Like, okay, I got to check the time, of course, when I get up, but I don't want to do nothing else on my phone until I'm up and good and settled. Like, let me get a good hour into my day on the way to work or whatever, and then let me get into my phone. Now, one of the
Yeah.
first things I do as soon as I pick up my phone, start checking who sent me a message or what I missed or who just posted what. And like,
Yeah.
I didn't think I was that guy, but I kind of found myself being that guy. Like, I never felt like someone who was always attached to like a social media or some kind of content, but you kind of just start finding yourself falling into that. Like, oh, like wait, hold on, how
Yeah.
did we get here? Because we didn't grow up into that. That was something that was added onto our lives as
Later in life, we were
technology
adults.
progressed. Adults, yeah.
We were
So it's not something
grown
that we
ups with
grew that we
responsibilities
grew
by
up
then.
doing. Yeah, it was something
Yeah.
added to us later. So it was like we never thought that we would be so consumed by it when it first became a thing. It was something we were entertained by, and
Yeah.
we have our conversation, whether it was through BBM and then became WhatsApp, and we have our memes and jokes when we feel like we started memes anyway.
Yeah.
um, but we never saw technology and social media taking a turn to where it's become like something you have to do, or you feel like you have to be attached to and scroll and scroll and scroll. TikTok, Instagram, and from one app to another app, to Facebook to X or Twitter, whatever they call it, and then you
Yeah.
just keep going. I found myself doing this in one app, out of that app to another app to another app to another app, and then back to the same app, and then close that
Yeah.
one out, and then close it and open right back up. I've done that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
closed Instagram and open Instagram right back up. Like, why did I just do that?
Still searching for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I searching for? Like, I'm just looking for something to grab my attention, but
You don't even know.
yeah, you just hunting for nothing with no purpose. And that's what it's become. And it's it's just so much out there as far as the content that you just end up stuck in it. Like my children, they don't even I can't even get them into programming because they just would rather watch user created content.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, man, that's cool and all, but once you start dedicating so much of your attention to that, you're building other people's legacy, you're building other people's their livelihood,
Yeah, and
but you're
taking
not
away from your
focusing on
own.
yours anymore. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and that's that time that you spend dedicated to indulging in somebody else's content. You're taking away from what you could be creating, and especially when
Yeah,
we were kids, we had that time to be able to curate our minds and our artisticness, right?
yeah,
For me, whether it was music or whether it was drawing something or whether it was writing poetry or whatever it was, I would have that time for myself. We didn't like once TV went on or wasn't no
hmm
TV programming on that Saturday. We were talking about like after cartoons went off and wrestling went off. My
hmm
pops was watching bowling or Swamp Thing or
Swamp that.
Hawk or something like that. That was just
Yeah,
come on Saturday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Or news or whatever or the Weather
right.
Channel. You know what I mean? But so when that time came, if we weren't outside playing, getting tough, getting strong, getting good at a sport or whatever, building
Yeah,
those things, we were in the house and we never had video games. My dad would not buy us a Nintendo. We wanted one. We asked one for every Christmas, every birthday. Never got a
right.
Nintendo. So when we were home, we had to do something. So I found
Yeah,
myself doodling and drawing and you getting good at art or starting to write down songs or learning how to make songs and just creating something of myself or whether it was going out in the backyard and practicing martial arts all day. I had to
yeah.
go you had to go do something to cultivate you
Or
as,
like you said, when you go outside with your brothers and sisters or the other kids in the neighborhood, that was social media. That
that was
was
our
social
social
media.
media.
That's when you
Mm-hmm.
socialize. That's when you knew how to become a person and interact with people. And you learned all your life lessons in that moment from actually being outside. Like people talk about outside now like it's something special when it used to be the norm. I'm outside. We outside with it.
Outside. You got to announce
When
it
did outside
because
become special? Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
outside always been there. It's always been there.
Yeah, man. Everybody was outside back in the day. We ain't had nothing else to do. You was outside doing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
moving and shaking.
Or and also your parents would tell you to go outside. Don't go outside. You sit around and
Yeah,
that. Go outside. Go do something. Go figure out
something
something.
in the neighborhood. Be around, be out and about. You go to
Go
the
outside.
store
Get
with your
some.
friends or wherever you was doing, but you would
Yeah.
go do something. Like shoot. And I'm at a stage where I feel like I need that balance. I need the
Mm-hmm.
balance that came with back in the day. So it's nice to know I have the option to go back into this whole media field, internet world, but it doesn't need to be everything. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
need to get back where it's a balance of having a real life beyond that and doing stuff, cultivating certain talents and abilities. You can get so much done. Like, you said on an episode, we're not busier, we're actually freer, but we're more occupied. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
that rings true. You know what I mean? Like, so if I didn't spend an hour doing whatever on the phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you be doing with that hour?
With that hour.
Maybe cleaning your
Exactly.
home, maybe cooking dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going out to eat, maybe you would go exercise instead. Maybe you would learn an instrument. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. You know what I'm saying? You would
Yeah.
find something to do to
Find
pass the
something to
time.
fill that time. Yeah.
We need to be bored again instead of being bored
Yeah.
because nobody dropped a good video today. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be bored to find a way to fill the boredom with something productive.
Yeah. Because being bored is how we got here. How we got to these
Mhm.
advancements. You know,
Correct.
and it's sad to see, and I hope our youth learn it. But the crazy thing is, just like you said, you mentioned it for yourself. It's not even just for the youth; it's for us too. Us
Yeah.
30 plus, 40 plus, 20 plus. You know what I'm saying? 50 plus. It's for us
Yeah.
too, because like for us, it feels like it took us by storm, and then we get lost and realize how deep we are into it. With these kids, they were born into it, so it's their norm.
Yeah.
It's their norm. And yes, we should try to break them away from it and give them that, because humans don't change. Humans don't change. We're the same
Yeah.
humans we were 1,000 years ago.
Yeah. With
So
new
we
toys and
need certain.
gadgets.
Yeah, just didn't have those things. Just didn't have those certain amenities available to us. So we still need to go out and do things to become what we need to become, and have the advantages and advancements that we need to have. And we can't do it if we're just tied to our phones and social media or some gadget or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm absolutely with you on that.
Man, back in the day, if you was a kid, you could never say you were bored. If you said you were bored, your parents would put you to work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
That's one. Yeah, true. Oh, you bored? Oh, I got something for you. I got something
take
for
this
you.
broom, go outside, cut the grass,
Here's a rake.
go
Here's a rake.
rake up them leaves. Something you were gonna get put to work. Like, you bored.
So either you
That
was
word was
bored
not
and you
allowed
gonna go
once
work,
upon a time.
or you bored and I gotta figure something. I can't go other than this. I gotta go find something to do. And
Yeah.
we would go find something to do. We would.
Bro, think about the world we were in. I sent you a video of this dude that made this Ninja Turtle toy. And he had Raphael just sitting in the lair,
Yeah.
flipping through his CD book, listening to Wu-Tang CDs and stuff. And it just made me think back to a time where you could literally sit down and all you did was put your headphones on and listen to music. Think about
Yeah.
the fact that we did that. You weren't multitasking. You could sit there with your Walkman and on the floor and listen
Take it
to an
easy.
entire album and do nothing but be in your thoughts and taking in the songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably imagining stuff, visualizing the world and things, and listening to the actual story and imagining the stories that you're hearing and stuff, or thinking about your day or what happened today or what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody in the, we take in music now. It's multitasking. I'm
Yeah.
driving, I'm in the gym, I'm cleaning the house, I'm doing stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm scrolling while I'm listening to something. Matter of fact, most of the media that we take in, like I don't know how it is in your household with your kids. But with my kids, I'm like, hey, we about to watch a movie. This is how they watch the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
how are we sitting there watching a movie like that? I got pissed one
yeah,
time. I'm like, hold on, wait. Go put your phones up. Go put them phones up. Like we sitting here
right.
watching a movie. Like we're taking in content. Like we can't even fully take in content and
Without taking in
enjoy
content.
moments without taking in content. Taking in content
Yeah,
while we're taking in content. Like that's crazy. So like we
yeah,
said, we're listening to music. Like you said, listen to album. But we got to be doing something and fidgeting with something while we're doing it. Even when we're driving.
yeah,
Sometimes it just feels more comfortable just to have my phone in my hand, just doing this while I'm driving, even though I'm not supposed to. But being
yeah.
real, like I just feel like I gotta have something in my hand. It's
How
crazy.
did we get here? How did we get here? When we grew up having enough peace and clarity to be able to sit there in quiet, not
Yeah,
quiet technically because you had your headphone, but with nothing else going on in the room.
with nothing else. Because I mean, other than maybe going through the CD book,
Yeah,
that's maybe the only other thing you were doing. Which also
that's it.
reminds me, like in the morning when you're eating breakfast and eating cereal, what we had the back of the cereal box.
The back of the cereal box. And that was all you had. And you even then you were reading. You were reading. Who
Yeah, you're
reads now?
reading.
You know what I'm saying? So like it was just it's hey, look, man, it's really amazing that people were able to do that because then you are actually being in the moment with what you're doing. You're being present in the moment and you're focused on what you're doing. None of us do that. Multitasking is something they tricked us into thinking was something special. We were hoodwinked. And multitasking is terrible because you've never given all of your focus to what you're working on. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Why would that be good? Yes, you might be achieving more, but if you're actually trying to improve on something, you'll never be the best version of yourself
yeah.
doing
And
that along with two or three
in
other
order
people.
to be like you said, the best version of yourself, in order to be great at the particular thing that you're doing, you can't afford to multitask. Like you have certain sports players who are great at so many different sports, right? Yeah, you're LeBron James who played football and AI who played football, or vice
Yeah,
versa. Guys who play football who can play basketball, but they had to
yeah,
say, you know what, I'm going to focus on this one.
Yeah.
and get hyper focused on this thing and not multitask. Now you had your other grades who could do both. Yeah, your Deion Sanders and your Bo Jacksons, but those are rare cases in order to be ultra great. But think how much more greater Deion Sanders could have been if he would just focus just on solely on football. The same for
Right.
Bo Jackson, right? So it's just
Right.
the fact that understanding humans don't change, the nature of us we don't change. So with us multitasking in the way that we do, it really diminishes our heights that we can go to, and we're just brought into this culture of everything we're doing, we have to do it doing something else. That's how things are
Yeah.
coming now. Whatever we're doing, we have to do it doing something else. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's something, man. I'm off of it, man. Look, man. It's gonna probably be like getting off coffee or something. You know what I'm saying? I might have
Mm-hmm.
headaches some days, and it might be harder some days, and I might go get a cheat day here and there. But I'm gonna try personally for myself
Yeah,
to
that's for sure.
scale back as much as possible, man. And I think if you made it this far into the conversation, you should consider it too. How about that? I'm telling you what to
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah, go off the grid.